All right, welcome everyone. Today, what we're doing basically is going to talk about how we can find the best, most profitable products to sell that have high demand and low competition. Basically, we're calling it From Research to Riches, Etsy Profits Unleashed. So let's go ahead and get started. Why is my screen not? There we go. All right, for those of you who don't know, who are we? So I'm Jody, and I just want to point out and let you guys know that, I had no e-commerce background whatsoever. So Katrina, like when you're talking about how your husband was a graphic designer and you don't really have those skills, well, guess what? I had none of it. My background is as a hospital administrator, and then stayed home and took care of my 3 children and helped my husband in his practice. So when I first started, I had no clue what I was doing. I tell this story all the time that I started with Amazon and they would talk about SEO and I would sit there and I had no idea what SEO even was. And I'd be way too meek and insecure to even ask what it meant. And over time in the group, I kind of figured it all out. But so my point is, if I can do this, anybody can do this, right? It just takes knowing exactly how to do it. And sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So that's me. Like you, my kids are grown. My youngest is in college. So I have a lot more free time these days. So, which is why I opened my digital shop last year. Jenny, you're up.
Okay, so my name's Jenny and I'm from the UK. So different place to Jody, obviously. My background was in banking and then in glass recycling and then admin. And I needed to stay home and be present for my son who wasn't very well. So I trained as a coach. And once I'd qualified as a mastery coach, I was asked to coach for mindset on a digital selling platform. And that was what I did. I was working for Learn in the US and I was coaching on 3 different programs for mindset coaching. I actually am a mindset coach for co-parenting, toxic co-parenting and divorce, but that's my other side of things. And I opened my Etsy shop end of April after lots and lots and lots of nagging by the other coaches who were on the marketing mastery program, namely Jody, Sean and Dave. So they nagged me lots and lots and lots. And then I opened my digital store. So I now have about 920 products listed. I've done over 3,750 sales, not quite at the same level as Jody, but I'm working on the theory that I'm 3 years behind her. So that's who I am. And again, I came from a background that didn't involve any kind of digital selling. So if I can do it, any of you can do it, really, truly. So there we go. That's me.
Hey, awesome. I see some new people on. If you're able to put your cameras on, please do. It'd be lovely to see your faces. If not, you can use the chat. You can raise your hand. You can speak up. All right. Awesome. Let's go. All right. So here's just a brief of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about why research is the key to success on Etsy, how to use Etsy for product inspiration if you don't know what you want to sell. We're going to
Oh no, we lost Jody. Oh, Jody, where did she go?
You better find her.
She's come back. We lost Jody.
All of a sudden you guys disappeared. Can you see this now?
We can't see your screen right now. You need to share your screen.
You
came back literally.
So much fun.
Oh, you came back almost as quickly as you departed. So here we go.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I realized I was gone. So real quickly too, before I even go on, I don't know if any of you have seen this. If you've been on Etsy recently, if you use Chrome or you use Firefox, a lot of people, myself included, have been getting a 400 error code, and you can't get in. People have said it's happening on Safari. It has not happened to me on Safari, but it has happened on Chrome. So we have backups to the backups to the backups today, just in case Etsy doesn't allow us to go in. So we should be good, but since for some reason my Zoom just went out, I figured I would point that out as well. Because unfortunately we can control a lot, but we can't control the technology. So, all right, so researching methods, we're going to go through my favorite method, which is called the competition method. And that's how I'm going to show you how to research products to find things that you want to sell. Then we're going to move on to finding coordinating products and niches. So basically how you can expand on the products you already have and grow your business that way. Then we're going to talk about keyword tools and how to use keyword tools to find the keywords for your listings and also how to validate your products with it. And Jenny's going to do a little talking there. And then, which we're not going to do here, but the next step once we have this is to create your products. Sound good?
Yeah.
I see lots of nodding heads there.
Okay, go ahead, Jenny.
Okay, so if you stay till the end of the training, you're going to get 3 free ebooks. And these have been created for you guys. So you'll have 40 tips, tricks, and hacks to profit and scale your Etsy shop. And I managed to say that without actually having to put my teeth in. So that's really, really useful. You're also going to get the Etsy Success Mindset ebook, which has been created especially for you guys today. So never seen before. And this is all about unleashing your inner entrepreneur. And the third one will be your ultimate guide to Etsy advertising. So how you can profit and scale your Etsy shop through advertising, no matter what you sell. So all 3 of these are very incredibly useful things that would cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to figure out yourselves. And these give you some quick wins so that you can actually get ahead of the competition. All right, guys. So very, very useful. So please stay till the end.
Awesome. And Lisa, if you can put into the chat, well, welcome, but if you can put into the chat, because I know you missed the very beginning, when we get to the end, we're going to do some interactive research, going through themes and niches that you have. So do me a favor, just put into the chat what you sell. If you're selling now, what type of products you're selling. Awesome. All right, so let's talk about why research is the key to success on Etsy. And the biggest thing I put in here is, and if you know me, you've heard me talk about this, is choosing what you love versus choosing what actually sells.
Mm-hmm.
So many sellers, myself included when I first started, really didn't do the research to figure out what the best, most profitable, because let's face it, the biggest thing we want is profits, right? We want the joy of our item selling, but we really want to make money, right? Because if we're not making money, it's just a hobby. There's no point to it other than just for the fun. So here's what usually happens. Usually when people first start, they say, like, let's just say you like inspirational items. People will start selling inspirational, whatever, t-shirts, mugs, tote bags, jewelry, whatever it is, without doing the research because it's something they love. And they'll often say to me when I do my private coaching is, but I love how this looks. Well, that's awesome. And it may look beautiful, but if there's no market for it on Etsy, you're pretty much wasting your time. So what I always like to tell people is don't fall in love with the product. Fall in love with your Etsy shop and your Etsy business and the profits it's going to give you and the lifestyle it's going to give you. Don't fall in love with a product because that product may, 1, not have any market on Etsy, 2, maybe a trending product, which is the other thing a lot of people will do. They'll just hop on the trend bandwagon. So they'll say, I don't know, let's just say political. There's a political thing going on and everybody's selling it. So they'll jump in and they'll sell it too without actually doing the research. It's much more important to choose what actually is selling on Etsy. And that doesn't mean copy, but choose the themes and the niches, niche, whatever you say, that are actually selling on Etsy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I have to admit, I did exactly that until
Me
I
too.
found my niche. So I think
Everybody
most of us
does
did.
it. I see Lisa nodding her head. Katrina's just got this look. Donna's like, yes, me. It happens to all of us. I was just as guilty of it. Just on a side note, when I brought up the inspirational products, so here's the thing too, if you do your research for, because I saw some people said they want to do digital products as well. what sells on physical products is very different than what sells on digital products. For instance, myself, I started with inspirational mugs, which nobody bought because it's just not a popular niche for physical products. However, on digital products, it's a huge seller. So I guess what I'm saying is if you have a physical product and you want to move it to something in a digital, do the research again because it may be very different. Okay.
Mhm.
On the screen, what you're seeing is just some of my own examples from two of my shops. And again, my digital shop has only been open for January of 2022. So a year, what's that, a year and 3/4, year and a half. So here's some numbers of items that I've sold, that I've been selling, most of which, with the exception of this personalized gift for neighbors up top, this ornament, which this will be the second winter it's around. Most of these are not very old, and you can see what they've sold and how much revenue I've made. Now, one thing to keep in mind, digital products, my digital products have a 70 to 80% profit margin. So yes, you sell for a lot less money, but you make it up in your numbers. For instance, this one here, this sewing one, which is fairly new, has $804 in revenue already. Now, I created these, so I don't really have, I didn't pay anyone. So all of the profit that I get from this, whatever 70 or 80% of $800 from one product is all my money. Make sense?
Mm.
Okay. So I'm just in full transparency, I wanted to just show you just a few of my actual products so you can see that. I mean, look at this one accessory pouch has made over $11,000 in revenue. Okay. And that's one product. So if you do the right research, it's all possible. All right. Jenny, do you have anything to add to that before I move on?
My store is mainly digital because when I opened it in end of April last year, I didn't want much hassle. So I didn't want breakages and non-receipts and all the rest of it, packages missed. So I went mainly digital, and I as well have products that have $600, $700, $800 revenue. And I went into it completely new, end of April last year. So yeah, I'll tell you a little bit more about how I went into that, but later on in the course. But the results that Jodie's showing you, if Jodie can get them, if I can get them, absolutely anybody can get them.
Anyone have any questions before I move on? No? Okay. All right. Product inspiration. One of the #1 questions that I get asked all the time is, how do you even know what products to come up with? How do you even, like, you may have an idea, but how do you even know what you should sell, basically? So this is a really, really simple method, the search bar alphabet method, but it's a great way to kind of come up with inspiration and start creating your list. So what I'm talking about is, I want, not in the call, but when you're doing your product research, I want you to create a list that you keep on hand of at least 25 to 50 product ideas. They're not necessarily ideas or products that you're going to move forward with because you don't know yet if they have the research to back them up, and there's the search volume and there's low competition. But just keep a running list of product ideas so that when you're ready to launch new things, you always have a list going. Okay. So what we're going to do. Good.
When you say product ideas, do you mean like the actual product, like just like you're going to research mugs, or are you talking about the idea that goes on the product?
It can be either. So for instance, let me show you. All right. Can you guys see the screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say, let's do this. So you were talking about, I think it was Katrina, you were talking about you had gone on a bunch of cruises. I just went on a 2-week basically trip to Greece, which was partly a cruise, with my husband for our 30th anniversary. And so if you've ever been to Greece, we also went to Turkey. Evil eye stuff is huge. Everywhere you go, it's evil eye. So I've kind of got that on my mind at the moment. So let's just put that in. And I don't know at this point, to answer your question, Donna, I'm just thinking evil eye. I don't really know what product I might want to sell, but I'm just going to start coming up with ideas. So all you're going to do is take whatever product you're thinking of or whatever niche theme you're thinking of, you're going to type it in, and then I'm just going to start just with the alphabet. I'm going to do A, okay? And you'll see Etsy will auto-populate things that come up. Now, I don't sell jewelry and I don't sell art, so I don't really see anything on here that I'd want to sell. So I'm going to erase the A and go to B. Again, it's all bracelets, jewelry, so that's not for me. If you sell jewelry, it might be.
There was a bag.
Oh, was there a bag? Okay, well, I can go back to that too, but let's just go through here in the interest of time. All right, so evil eye candle could be something I might want to sell. Again, at this point, I don't know if there's the research to back it up. I'm just going to start making a list of items that are in whatever it is I sell, if it's t-shirts, mugs, jewelry, whatever. Art. So I'm going to go to evil eye candle. I might click on it and just kind of look through and see if it looks like something I might want to do. So, okay, so yeah, so evil eye candle would go on my list, right? Then I'm going to go back out again and let's just skip all the way to M. You could do this and you can go A through Z and just start writing down a list of ideas of products you might want to sell. You can go as far or as little as you want. For this, just in time, for interest of time, I'm just going to go to M. All right, first thing, let's see what we go here.
What is an evil eye min? The third one down.
Let's check.
Sorry.
Interesting.
Let's go down that
Okay.
rabbit hole.
So it's products for men is what it's supposed to be. All right, well, we're not going to go with that one because I don't think that's what I might want to say. Let's go back. Mug was what I was going to put in.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Okay, so there you go. Yes, I think I could do an evil eye mug. It's going to go on my list. Again, I haven't done the research. I have no idea. I don't know. Let's just pick something else. Let's go teacher, t-shirt. Teacher. Let's go teacher, A, see what comes up. Okay, so maybe teacher assistant shirts. Click on it just to look at it real quick, and it didn't go through, of course. I would just look at it, make sure it was something that I could do, and I'm going to put that on my list. So do you see what I'm doing? I'm just coming up with ideas, and I'm just creating a list. Again, I don't know yet if I want to do any of these things. I'm just creating a list, and my list is generally at least 50 items long, because what you're going to be doing when we get to the next step and go to the research, you're going to be crossing things off that have too much competition or no demand that you're not going to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just a really easy way to find ideas. It's not really, it's not, I don't know, it's not difficult. You just put it in and start with A and just keep going and just create a list. And you can do it for several themes if you want to, or several ideas. Just get a list going so you're ready to move on to the next phase, which is the research.
The difficult part for me is knowing that there's even an evil eye thing out there.
Well, right. So I just used that because that was just something because if you go to Greece, it is in every single shop. And I have no idea if it's popular in the United States or anywhere else, but in Greece and Turkey, it's on everything. And I mean everything, every shop you go to. So it's just what came to my mind. But you know, Donna, you do dog stuff. So for you, maybe it would be, putting in dog and then A, B, C, whatever, until you come up with your list of ideas.
And
Well,
don't
Sheltie, because she's more into the Sheltie rescue too, right?
yeah.
Yeah, selfies, yeah.
But don't forget,
Okay.
guys, that even though that's popular in Greece, there are an awful lot of Greek and Turkish people that have emigrated all over the world. So don't dismiss it just because you think, oh well, that's for Greece, for example.
Except we're not going to guess. We're going to actually do
We're
the
going to research. Absolutely. Going to do the research. So it's all going to be research led. But what I'm saying is don't dismiss something out of hand before you've done the research. All right.
Good idea.
Okay. So now we're going to take, let's assume you have your list. And again, at the end, we'll take some of your ideas and we'll actually do it, but I'm just going to do one of my own to show you guys. So research product validity, we're going to learn how to use what I call the competition method, which is to find, and again, it's on Etsy, to find high demand, low competition product or product categories of things for you to do. All right. Let's dive into researching product validity with the competition method. So let's go back to our Etsy. Okay. So let's go with, just because we're talking about it, let's go with my Evil Eye mug theme, okay, to start. So I'm just going to type in Evil Eye mug. Okay, so here's where the gold is for researching. What we're going to do is you're going to take whatever your theme is, you're going to put it into the search bar. And what we want to do now is now we're going to find out if this product is worth doing or not. And if it has enough search and it has a low competition. So here's what's key. If you can see on my screen where it says estimated arrival anytime, scroll all the way to the right. I don't know if anyone's ever paid attention to this, but 2,239 results with ads. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yep.
No. Okay. So what we are looking for in the competition method is we are looking for anything, whatever we put into the search bar, that there's less than 30,000 results with ads is fine, but less than 30,000. Anything more than 30,000, it's just too competitive. There's too many people in it. But just because it meets that, because this is 2,239 results, right? So that's really good. It means there's not a lot of competitors because we're willing to go up to 30,000. But that still doesn't mean it's a marketplace that we can enter into. So now we need to move on to the next step. And Donna's nodding her head because I've taught this before to her. What you're going to do, you're going to ignore all these ads. We don't care about the ads. What we're trying to see is if there's any fairly new sellers that have 100 or less reviews that have made it to the first page organically. Because if you can make it to the first of all, this, even with 2,239 results, there's probably, I don't know, somebody can look if they want, but at least 50 pages of Evil Eye mugs, right? So think about it. If you're on the 50th page, even the 10th page, what are the chances somebody's going to search that far and buy your product? Very slim, right? So you want to be on the first page. And the easiest way to be on the first page is to get into a market that is not very competitive, but still has some people searching for it, right? So if you can rank organically on the first page, and if somebody with less than 100 reviews could rank organically on the first page, it means there's probably room for you to enter that market. Does that make sense?
Yeah. There's a number of them.
Katrina, makes sense? I see you on my screen.
Yeah,
Who else
thumbs up.
Okay, Leanne, makes sense. Lisa?
Yes.
Regina, Tony, go ahead and put it in the chat. Okay, so we know that Evil Eye Mug has passed the first test of having 2,239 results, right? Because we're looking for up to 30,000. And that's amazing, 2,239. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through the first page. Again, we're going to ignore all of these ads because we don't care. And what we're looking for is to see if we could find at least one, preferably more, sellers that have less than 100 reviews that have made it to the first page organically. And I can actually already see on this first one, this person only has 5 reviews. And for those of you that don't know, let me show you.
No, 5 in cart.
Yeah, this person only has 20 sales. Okay. And what did I say? 5 reviews? 5 reviews. So they have managed to make it to the first page with only 5 sales or 20 sales and 5 reviews. That's an amazing sign. Now you want to take a look because their price is probably a little lower than you might sell it for. So in that case, I want to look and see if I could find 1 or 2 more people. So, all right, this person's even cheaper, but they also have 17, kind of like that design. This is a little bit different mug, but depending on what you sell, they have 73 reviews and $34. Let's see what else. Can we find anybody else? It's the same person, so we'll ignore them. That's an ad, so we're going to ignore the ads again. Let's keep going. I just want to point out too, so here's the thing, right? We already know, because we've seen that I could probably launch my product and get to the first page with an Evil Eye mug, right? So the other thing, now that I know I've passed that test, I'm going to be just taking a look real quick and jotting on my list any other things I see. So like tumblers, right?
Yeah, I like that. No.
Yeah, that looks nice. Beer can glasses, anything else that I might be able to sell.
So the
Coaster.
one thing I'm concerned about, it's like, I can tell like some of them are district photo mugs or printify mugs or whatever. I'm like, they're only have it listed for $10, and then they have another one that's
Yep.
a two-tone mug that's
$8.
9 something. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. So if you're seeing that and you're seeing everybody that has less than 100 reviews that are selling way cheaper than you can sell it for. So when I create my list, what I'm doing basically is I'm creating a yes list, a no list, I'm just crossing things off, and a maybe list. So the maybe list is maybe not the first products I'm going to start with, and we'll finish going through the mugs just to see. But the things that I'm definitely going to do are things that I know I can compete with, right? The things that it passed the test, but maybe I can't compete on price, I'm going to put in maybe category, and I'm going to put a little note, check the price to go back. Does that make sense?
okay.
Mhm.
But let's go. Let's scroll through first and just see if we see anybody who is selling for a price that we could probably compete with. So these are all ads again, so we'll ignore
There we-
those.
oh.
Yeah,
Well, then
that's-
again, I know sometimes people do the bait and switch, so I don't know if any of those are a bait and switch.
Could be, but let's see. These are ads again in the middle, so I want to ignore those. Okay, well, here's one, right? They have 30 reviews. They're selling for $16. I know we can compete on that price, right? And they made it to the first page. So to me, this for me would probably be, and I can keep going through, ignoring the ads again. That's the same person. All right, so here's one, right? Goddess Girl Gifts are selling it for $18. We can compete on that probably.
Yeah. There's
So
another one on the next line up, just on the right hand side. It's not
This
an
one.
ad.
this you talking about?
No, next line up on the right hand side. The black
The
one.
black.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go. So that's 1619. I can click on it. So at this point, I'm just putting yes and no, maybe, to make sure it's an item that meets my criteria, that's less than 30,000 competitors, that I can find at least a few people that have under 100 reviews. Now, 100 is just, it's sort of an arbitrary number. So if you see someone that has 103 reviews, that's okay. But what we're looking for is if a new seller can get to the first page organically, is the bigger picture that we're looking for. Does that make sense? Lisa, you look confused.
Yes, yep, no,
Oh,
yep.
it does? Okay. So to get to your point, Debbie, the next thing, once I have my list of products that have met my criteria, I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at, and we're going to talk about this a little bit after, but I'm going to look at, one, can I compete? Two, what can I do better? Honestly, if I look at this, in my personal opinion, I don't even think that's that great of a design. So could I create a better design? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go look through all the reviews, and I'm going to see what people are saying that they didn't like about the product. What could I do better to make my product better to stand out? Does that make sense? But we know from the research, when I just put this in, that it has less than 30,000, which is, this one was way less, like 2,200 or whatever it was. And we found multiple people that had 100 reviews or less on the first page. So to me, this would be a win product that I would put in my yes category to come back and do the research and possibly create the product, because I know I can compete in this space. That makes sense? So into that theory, then I would be also looking, and I would put the tumbler on my list. If I wanted to do a tumbler, I might put coasters on my list. And again, you're going to have to go back and do the research on it, but put it on your list because you already know the Evil Eye theme has validity and it's a product you can compete with. Any questions on that so far? No? Okay. So let's go back to here. And again, we're going to go in and we're going to do some of your products in a little bit. But so let's look at just some of the key points to this. And again, you guys are going to get the recording, so you'll be able to see all this. You don't need to take notes. So key points. If there's less than 10,000 competitors, so we just saw on that one, there was a little over 2,000 competitors, right? Results with ads. That's your competitors. You want to find at least one product on the first page with less than 100 reviews. If you find more, that means there's even more opportunity. But as long as you find one with less than 10,000 competitors, you know you can get your product onto the first page, okay, organically. If there's between 10,000 and 30,000 competitors, because again, we'll go up to 30,000, I want you to find at least 2 to 3 products on the first page with less than 100 reviews, because now that means that there's between 10 and 30,000 people selling very similar products. It's still doable, but you want to make sure that you could find at least 2 to 3 people that are on the first page with less than 100 reviews. Make sense?
Okay.
All right. So you're going to go through this on your own, and you're going to come up with, if you need, you may already have some ideas, but if you don't, you're going to go through the search bar alphabet. You're going to create your list of products. Always keep a list going. Then you're going to go in and you're going to do exactly what we just did and research the product and see if it fits the criteria. Once you have your product, and let's say I launch my Evil Eye mug and it's doing great, right? And you've seen from some of my products before that if you do the right research, you can sell a ton. Let me go back one quick second to talking about the products that you love, that you sell in the beginning. You could still get a sale or two on those products, but a sale or two is never going to make a bestseller, and it's never going to make you a ton of profit. So it's so much more important to do the actual research and find the products that have the search demand and don't have a lot of competition, because you can easily profit from those products. So once you have your products, and using the Evil Eye mug example, there's a couple different ways now I can grow my shop and expand on that using products that I already know have done well. So what you would do is there's a couple different ways you can expand your product line. One is with coordinating products, and the other is with new niches that are similar. You can do both, but let me go through them. So when coordinating products, what I'm referring to is taking the same niche. So for instance, that Evil Eye mug, and of the winning product, and creating different products using that theme. So like we talked about, the Evil Eye mug, then maybe I'm going to research an Evil Eye tumbler. Maybe I'm going to research Evil Eye coasters. Maybe I'm going to do stickers, jewelry, whatever it is you're selling, doesn't matter. You can take that and you can put it on different products. Okay. And that's a great way to do it. If you have something that's doing well, just expand that design onto different products, but do the research, go back, do the research for tumbler, stickers, whatever it is you're selling. The other way to do it.
But you basically do that if you have a winning design in that niche.
Yes, exactly. So I wouldn't do it immediately. I would do it on one product. And if you've done your research and you do your keywords right and all of that, which we'll get to afterwards, then, and your SEO is good, it should sell. And then you're going to take it and you're going to move it on to other products. So usually I say if it sells, let's say my Evil Eye mug, for example, which I haven't done, but I think I might consider launching. If you take your Evil Eye mug and I get 5 to 10 sales on it, then that's when I'm going to say, okay, this product is doing well, and now I'm going to move it to other products. Okay. The other thing is, a lot of people talk to me about whether it's better to have a niche shop or to just have a general store type of model. Both of them work well, but the nice thing about a niche store is that you can have loyal customers that are coming back over and over again, because if you just take like Donna's Sheltie theme, people who love Sheltie dogs, well, they're going to come back over and over again to you for your Sheltie products, right? So what I'm talking about then is maybe a Sheltie dog product is not enough to be extremely profitable. Maybe it gives you some profit, but it's too targeted of a niche. So then what you're going to do is you're going to try and find coordinating niches that are still similar, but that you can create your own line of products. So for example, if we're talking about my Evil Eye, and by the way, I'm from New York, so I talk very fast. So if you need me to slow down, just tell me to. If you're talking about my Evil Eye mug again, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for products that have similar type of themes. So maybe it's a Hamza mug, maybe it's karma, maybe it's good luck, maybe, I don't know, it could be whatever. But one way to find those coordinating niches is to go back in, like we just did, just put in Evil Eye mug, and you're going to look and you're going to see what keywords they're using and see if they're using things like Hamza, if they're using things like karma, and then take that, add it to your list, and start the process over again. You can always find, you'll find it in the reviews, you'll find it in their description, you'll find it in their keywords of coordinating things, and then now you have another niche that's similar. So the people that are looking for, because Evil Eye, if you don't know, it's really good luck is what it is. So maybe there's other good luck products, right? Or niches that are similar to Evil Eye. I did some research beforehand, so I know Hamza is one. I know karma is one. And now you have more niches to add to stack upon your mug niche, your Evil Eye niche. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you can create a theme, can't you? So you can, you know, if you're looking at good luck symbols, you can research, you can just Google good luck symbols across the globe and just find different good luck symbols that actually, you know, you could then start to do the research.
Exactly. This honestly it's not rocket science. That's the word I was looking for before. It's not rocket science. This is exactly what I do to find my products. It's really simple once you think about it, but the biggest thing is you want to make sure that you can break into that market and that you can get to the first page organically. So anyone can get there using Etsy ads, right? But that doesn't mean you're going to stay there, and it doesn't mean you're gonna rank that high. But if you can get there organically, that's gold, because then if you can get to the first page, people are going to buy your product, right? Okay.
So how much time do you spend doing this? Just curious.
So this time of year, for those of you who know me, know that I am in massive research mode, because I know from past history from October to December gets insane. I have a lot of personalized products. So I'm doing a ton of research now. So I have a list going constantly, and I start every morning because I'm in the new product mode at the moment. I start every single morning creating new products. So going through my list and researching, narrowing down my list to the yeses, and then creating a couple products each day. For those of you who don't know me, I had a goal of my ornaments sell really well, and I had 60 ornaments in my product list last year, and my goal was to get to 200 before October 1st. I hit 200 last Wednesday, and I think I'm up to 216 now. And what I did this morning, because I'm practicing what I preach, I went through and I researched other ornament niches and came up with a list, did the research, compiled a very narrow list of, I think I got to 4 or 5 more that I'm going to create the product lines for this afternoon.
And what I would add to that is that this looks like a lot. It sounds like a lot, but the more you do it, the quicker you get. So it's something new. It's like learning a new skill. When you first start learning a new skill, you're quite slow. You know, you're checking, dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes and the quicker it becomes.
Absolutely. Okay, real quick, let's just do some key takeaways. And this is just going to go back over everything we just did. You're going to start by creating a list of product niches or just ideas you have, whatever it is. Just put it in your list. you're going to use the search bar alphabet method, or if you have your own inspiration, like I did for the evil eye, just from having been in Greece, then you're going to use the competition method to test the Etsy marketplace and make sure the niche product meets the criteria to go ahead with. If you have something that you're not sure of, and I think, Debbie, you had asked me this a couple of weeks ago about a product that sort of met the criteria, but didn't exactly meet the criteria, you can go ahead and put that on a maybe list to come back for. But always start with the low-hanging fruit. Start with the products that you know for sure that you can organically rank on the first page for by doing the competition method, okay? Once you have an approved product idea, look for other products you can create using that niche, and or like we just talked about, look for coordinating niches. So in Donna's case, if she does shelties, maybe it's going to be cockapoos. Maybe it's going to be whatever, dachshunds. Somebody on here, I think, said they sell dachshunds items. And then you're going to confirm your search volume for your product idea using a keyword tool. Is there anyone on here who does not use a keyword tool currently? You can raise your hand if you don't, or put it in the chat. Who said me? I didn't see.
You know, I'm embarrassed to say it, but still me.
Don't be embarrassed to say it. No, absolutely not. And you can get a good portion of what you need from just going on Etsy and looking at the keywords that your competitors are using, but we're going to go through and show you the keywords. Real quick, before we move on, what keyword tools do you guys use?
I use MakerWords.
Okay.
What
Lisa, what about
use?
you?
I just look within Etsy and I look at what the other people are using.
Okay.
Like Dave's method.
Okay. Yeah. So, and that's a great way to start. And I'm going to let Jenny talk in a second about how she started, but that is a great way to start. But you really need to take that, and whatever your competitors, if you're looking to see what they're putting in, you do need to take it and put it in a keyword tool to make sure that there's search volume. And I'll explain that in a second. All right. So here's just some helpful tips. When researching a product idea, the more niche you can get, the better. For instance, using the same evil eye niche that I talked about, evil eye jewelry may have too much competition, but evil eye or small silver evil eye ring might be wide open for ranking on the first page. So, because that's a much, much more niche product, right? So the other thing you can do is if you have a product idea and you put it through the research competition method and it's over 30,000, it's too much. Try to think of how you can niche it down more. So, and I'm going to show you guys in a second some ideas, but the more specific you get, there's generally going to be less competition, and that's okay because there's going to be more room, as you saw with my evil eye mug, more room to get into the market and be on the first page, which is where you need to be if you want to be profitable. Okay. As Lisa was saying, you're going to take a look at your competitors. So once I settle on a product idea, I'm going to read my competitors' reviews to see how I can improve the product. I'm going to look at their pricing. I'm going to look at their images, and I'm going to look to see what I can do better. How can I make this product better to stand out over the competition? So I'm never going to copy what they're doing. I'm going to create my own unique design of whatever it is, but I'm going to look at all of their stuff to get an idea of what I can do better. And I'm also going to get an idea of what keywords they're using to put into the tools. Jenny, do you want to talk about how when you first started?
Sure. Right. I'm just to give you a guideline of what type of person I am. I'm the person that comes home from IKEA, opens the box, doesn't read the instructions, and starts fitting things together. All right. So it's the same thing with computers. I just start pushing buttons just to see what happens. That's me. I'm not very good. So I was kind of like, research, yes, you need that. And they were horrified when I first opened my store. The other coaches were horrified when I'd done really well opening the store, getting sales. And then I said, but I haven't got the course. And basically I didn't have the training course of how to open an Etsy store, how to do research, how to find your products, how to do this, that, and the other. I didn't have any of that. I just basically picked it up from what I'd gleaned from coaching on the mindset side and applied that to opening my store. So my products were all over the place. They really were. And I was literally just kind of throwing mud at the wall just to see what would stick. Which obviously it takes time, it takes effort, it costs money because I'm paying for every listing that I put up. And eventually I found the niche that was comfortable for me, that was selling, that I continue to add to this day, which happens to be sassy digital designs. And, you know, sarcasm and sassy kind of quips are my favorite place to be. So that's what I settled on. But had I actually taken a step back and said, I don't know what I'm doing here, I need to get some information or some training or some guidance, I would have actually got successful a lot quicker. Because I didn't. I thought I could just push buttons, throw mud at the wall and see what stuck. And it cost me time and it cost me money.
It always comes back to the you don't know what you don't know. And it's true. And I think a lot of us start that way. And you use the phrase that I was thinking of, throwing mud against the wall and hoping it sticks. That's exactly how most new Etsy sellers start, especially with choosing their products. Just again, going back to, you know, I chose inspirational products and just threw it up there, didn't do any research and see what happens. And guess what? It didn't do very well. And it's taken me 3 years to really narrow down the exact easy methods that I just taught you of how to do the research and how to find the products that really do sell. And there's millions of them on Etsy. There is no shortage of products, regardless of whether you sell jewelry or art or mugs, t-shirts, whatever it is. The biggest thing is really to be able to get on the first page is to really niche down what you're selling to be more specific. So instead of like I don't know, teacher t-shirt. I know a lot of people start to think about the holidays and gifts for teachers. So if you have young kids, teacher t-shirt, well, I bet if I put into, and we'll do it, if I put into Etsy teacher t-shirt, there's probably like 500,000, I'm just guessing, 500,000 competitors. But if I narrowed it down to kindergarten teacher t-shirt or kindergarten teacher tote bag or whatever, I guarantee you the list gets a lot smaller. And so that's how you need to be thinking, because if you're selling something very general, it's going to be hard to stand out. And when we talk about keywords here, that's one thing to talk about too. The more specific your keywords that you use in your listings, the better chance you have of being found. So if you put in funny mug, just using mug example, because I know some of you are selling that. If you put in funny mug, you're going to come up with thousands upon thousands of different funny mugs, right? What are the chances someone who puts funny mug into there and sees your mug is going to buy it? It's very rare. And chances are if they put funny mug in, they don't even know exactly what they're looking for. They're just looking for something to catch their attention, right? But what if I put in, totally making this up here, funny mom of twins mug, okay? Or mom of multiples mug. I guarantee you that's going to be a lot easier to rank on the first page for, regardless of what the number shows you. And again, you want to make sure it's under the 30,000. But there's going to be a lot of times people say to me, but if I do that, there's going to be a lot less search volume. Yes, that's true, but it's going to be highly targeted to what exactly your selling is, which means the likelihood of someone who clicks on that, the likelihood of them buying it is 1,000 times greater than somebody who puts in funny mug as their keyword and that's your mug shows up on there.
So shall I give my example here, Jodie?
Sure.
Right. Okay. Imagine you're stood in the middle of a football pitch and you are looking for somebody that wants to buy a teacher leaving gift. Okay. Teacher leaving gift. I know that's still a bit wide, but we'll go with teacher leaving gift. So you're stood in the middle of the football pitch and you're shouting out, who wants to buy a teacher leaving gift? And everybody's just talking amongst themselves. Nobody's taking a blind bit of difference. So what you then start shouting out is, who's got parents with who are parents with kids at school? I want to hear from the parents that have kids at school. Your audience is narrower. Yeah, so people are starting to listen. Okay, I want to speak to parents with kids aged 10 and under who have a teacher leaving school. So the teacher is leaving school. I want to speak to the parents of the kids whose teachers are leaving. All of a sudden, your massive fish tank has suddenly shrunk to that many people. And those people are going to be kind of like, well, what are you trying to say to me? What are you offering me? So it's about making sure that what you're doing is not speaking to the masses, but you're speaking to the people that actually want to hear from you. So you, by having a lesser search volume, is not working against you. It's actually working for you, because the people that you're speaking to are far more likely to buy, because they're the ones looking for the products that you're trying to offer. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah.
It's a great,
Okay,
great
cool.
example. Yep. Okay. So, and we're going to go in a second, and we're going to go into maker words. And just, was there anybody on here before we do that? Actually, I don't want to waste everyone's time. Was there anyone on here who doesn't use maker words and would like to see how it goes? How easy it is? Okay. All right, perfect. So we'll do that real quick. We're not going to spend a ton of time on this, but because I want to be mindful of your time, and I want there to be a question and answer session. So just real quickly, go ahead, Jenny.
Okay, maker words is so easy to use. It's unbelievably easy. I use it every day. And what I'm looking at is, I think I can even share my screen.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing for a second. Yep.
Okay. And, oh, look at that. Hold on a second. I just need to load up make words because I forgot to load it up. That's my bad, guys. I'm very sorry.
I do have it loaded if you need it. So
it should be okay. It's just coming up in a second. Talk amongst yourselves, it's fine.
any questions in the meantime while she's doing that?
I posted in the chat, but I have the old Craft Inspector and Niche Analyzer. Is that still pretty current for anything? Because I haven't looked at anything.
No, I would cancel that. One, they're very complicated to use, and two, I'm not even sure what niche analyzer is. But what she's going to show you here, Maker Words, it's $9.99 a month, and it is so easy to use. And it's actually the main tool that I use when I'm doing keyword research for my listings. It's so simple. So
yeah, I remember it when it was the trial version. I did all that Craft Inspector and Niche. I bought the lifetime version of it. So
okay, you probably had merchant words because Maker Words is fairly new.
Right. And then when it switched over,
yeah,
I did that, and then so I did see it. I do know it was good too.
Somebody give a product that you have that you want to get some keywords for.
Teacher ornament.
Teacher ornament. Okay.
And it doesn't matter whether you use the top or the middle search bar. It's the same thing.
Okay. So it's showing that there are 2,251 terms containing teacher ornament. And there are 108 searches in this past month for teacher ornament. So that's a search term that actually you're going to get in front of your ideal client that's going to buy your product. You've got teacher Christmas ornament. So this is giving you a helpful guide of the keywords that you can actually put into your listing so that the people that are looking for your product, they're going to be typing in these words. So you might not want to put in teacher retirement ornament because they're not retiring. But you might want to put in teacher appreciation ornament.
Can I just say one thing about that, Jenny, real quick?
Mhm.
So, because this is a great point. What I'm normally looking for is somewhere in the range of around 100 searches per month, because that means it's fairly targeted. Generally, like if you put in, I mean, I don't know, if she probably put in ornament, it's probably like 1 million searches per month. And that's great, but that goes back to my thing of, if you just put in ornament as your keyword, well, what kind of ornament? What are they actually looking for? And the chances of them buying your product is slim. So even though I'm looking for 100 about, I would use teacher appreciation ornament, and that's an amazing keyword. It only has 33 searches a month. One thing to keep in mind is we haven't quite hit the holiday season yet. So this in particular is probably low. It's going to get higher as we get closer to the Christmas season. And you can actually use eRank to go in and look at the trends from last year. I'm not going to go through it today, but just so you know, November is the busiest month of the holiday season. So if you go into the free version of eRank, you go to trends and you type in, you just put in November of last year of 2022, then you're going to get a better idea of the actual search volume during the holiday season. Okay, again, this is recorded, so you'll be able to go back and look at that.
Mhm.
But so even though teacher appreciation ornament only has 33 searches, I would 100% use it, and I would use it towards the front of my listing title, because it is so highly targeted to what you're trying to sell. You're trying to sell a teacher appreciation ornament to give your child's teacher during the Christmas holiday season.
Absolutely.
Make sense?
Somebody want to give me another one?
Why don't you do the evil eye mug? Let's
Okay,
see.
let's put an evil eye mug.
So, and the other thing, Lisa, what I would be doing is taking those competitor keywords that they're using, and I'd be putting it in here to just double check that there's search volume to use it,
So evil eye mug has 95 searches in a month.
which is
So
perfect.
again, that's perfect.
And then, so now if I had evil eye mug, it's not a glass mug. I could use evil eye coffee mug. The other thing I'm going to be doing now is putting in those coordinating, looking on competitors, seeing what other terms they used. So like Jenny was saying, and I do know this from my research, that Turkish evil eye, that might be a keyword I need to use. I saw that in competitors listings. Greek evil eye, good luck, Hamza, those are things that I'm probably going to want to put in my title and my tags, because that's going to lead to the evil eye. Yeah, and that may not, but do Turkish evil eye and see what happens.
Okay.
She did 0.
No, she put an evil eye mug. Just do Turkish evil eye. And then do Hamza.
Okay, it's 188 terms for Turkish evil eye.
Okay, so I would be using that in my title and or in my tags, because that's going to bring people. By the way, the Turkish evil eye, and not that this matters if you're not doing evil eye, but the Greek evil eye, they look the same pretty much. So the same
The
person.
other-
Good.
I was gonna say the other feature on maker words though that I like to use too is when you click by that Turkish evil eye.
Yep. Go ahead. She's going to have you
that
click on
see on
Etsy.
Etsy.
Mhm.
This one here.
Yeah, just click any of it. Click the first one and click on Etsy.
Oh, okay, on here. Search
Mhm.
keyword.
Yep, there you go. No, don't search keywords. Search on Etsy.
Okay, hold on a second.
Because then it's going to show you all the competitors who are using that keyword on Etsy. And then it's a great way to get other keywords to use by looking at what they're doing.
Mm-mm.
What are you doing?
I don't
Go back to
know.
that. Go back to that.
I
That
don't know. See on
and
Etsy.
then see
Yeah,
on
click on see on Etsy, right?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
There.
Okay. And then you can scroll down and see if you find anyone that's doing the Turkish Eagle Eye.
24,000 results, so less than the 30.
There you go. Actually, this thing, whatever this hanging amulet is, I know you guys can't see it, but I have one hanging on my office door that I bought in Greece.
I have one on my fridge. There's a fridge magnet from Morocco this year.
There you go. So maybe Moroccan evil eye would be
Yeah.
another search term. All right, let's move on because I want to be mindful of your guys' time. So let's go back to here. And I didn't share my screen, so let me share my screen. Where's my share my screen? There we go. Okay. All right, can you guys see my screen again?
We can.
Okay, cool. All right, real quick, let's go through this. Helpful keyword research tips. We did this already. The more highly targeted the keyword, the lower the search volume a keyword will have. In general, that's a good thing. You're looking for keywords that describe your product with around 100 searches per month. The more niche a product, search volume can go as low as 30 searches a month if it describes the product exactly to a T, like Debbie's example of the teacher appreciation ornament. I would use that. While it's tempting to choose a generic keyword because there's a lot of search volume, keep in mind that often means that the customer who's looking at that page is getting ideas and not ready to buy. They're not specifically looking for what you sell.
And that's the football stadium.
Yes. Before we get to this, let's go in here now. And let's go ahead, and we're almost at the end. Let's take a couple of your guys' ideas and let's do the competition method for it. So somebody shout something out.
Dog bowls.
Dog bowls?
Yeah, like
Okay.
personalized.
Well, let's do this. That's a perfect point. Let me start with dog bowls. Let's look at the competition and let's put in personalized dog bowls and see the difference.
Okay.
There's a lot of dog people on this call.
Hey, we all
Everybody
love
likes their
dogs.
dog. People love
I
their
know.
dog.
Mine passed away in April and I have not gotten a new
Oh.
one yet.
Oh.
It's just a lot of time and effort that I don't know that I have at the moment, but I really miss having a dog.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. All right, so dog bowls just in general has 19,561 results, which fits your first thing. It looks like most of these are personalized, but let's go through. And again, we're looking for under 30,000. So we have that. We're going to ignore all the ads because we don't care what the ads are doing. And now we're going to scroll through and we're going to see if we could find anyone that has less than 100. All right, well, this one has 135. It's a little bit over the 100, but I would still consider it if I could find more people. This is the one that says Bailey. 7,000, we don't want that. I'm not sure what this is. It's a food bowl, 132, maybe. It fits.
Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely fits the criteria. So that's a dog bowl and stand. I don't know if that's what you're selling.
That's an ad.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay, good. Good. Thanks for pointing that out.
Sorry.
No, that's good, because we want to ignore the ads. So as you can see, I'm not really finding much yet that has any new sellers, and that's probably because the dog category is very, very competitive, but that doesn't mean you can't do it if we could find a way to.
That one, custom ceramic dog bowl, where you've
That
got
one does.
that one there. Yeah, that fits.
That one does. Let's see what we got here. 132. So when I'm looking at this, just in the general dog bowls, what I'm noticing is the ones that there's room to move into the market with seems to be these silicone ones. So I might, if that's not what I'm talking about selling right now, I might take that and put that on my list. And this one is 135. So again, that's could kind of fit into it. So for me as a general dog bowl, if I wasn't looking for the silicone ones, it does meet the criteria, but I would probably put it as a maybe for the simple fact that I really can only find one or two people, and it does have it meets our criteria, but it has a lot of certain results for it. So do you see how I'm kind of narrowing down? This would probably not be my low-hanging fruit because it's going to be a little bit harder. But what if you put in, I don't know, give me something more specific, because these are all personalized. So, well, let's just do personalized in the meantime and just see if that helps at all. All right, so now we're down to 6,266 results. Now, keep in mind too, if this worked, right? If personalized dog bowls worked, this is going to be one of my top keywords I'm going to use, because I know that I can get to the first page using this keyword. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So this might be my first keyword that I use in my title, because we know that your top keywords need to be in the front of your title, because that's how the algorithm works. Okay, so let's go through real quick. And those are ads, so we'll ignore those. If you notice, most of these are pretty much the same. This one's probably gonna, here's that same one, 135. This would stay a maybe for me, unless I could find a way to really be more specific. This one does have 2, so this one could work.
The one with below, that was the one we picked up.
We saw that before,
with the
right?
stand, yeah.
So depending on what it is I'm looking to do and what type of product it is I'm actually looking for a dog bowl to create, it would be a maybe for me. It wouldn't be my top thing, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't do it.
So
I
could
would-
you put in like the material? Because it looks like, just looking at those, you have
Mhm.
ceramic and you have metal. So what if you did a personalized, ceramic dog bowl?
Or what about travel dog bowls?
Okay,
Like-
we'll look
or
at that.
flexible?
That's a good one. We'll look at travel dog bowl in a second. So again, but you can see how the more specific we get, the less results we get, which is where you want to be, finding those more specific things so that you can rank on the first page. And I know I keep repeating that, but that's what I really want everybody to get from this, is the more specific you get, the better chance you have of succeeding and being profitable. And Kimberly, I actually did, when I was doing some of the research for the things, I was actually putting in, because I know what kind of jewelry you sell, and I was putting in jewelry to kind of do that for you. So, because most of your stuff is more like statement, chunky kind of things, those still have a ton of competition and don't meet the criteria. But if you get more specific over like the type of gemstone it is, the color gemstone, the sterling silver, gold, whatever it is, those are the keywords you can rank for. Okay.
When you do your titles, do you just, because like on MakerWords, it's like basically 3 words at a time. So you put the 3 words and then a comma, and then you use something else that's similar. Can you repeat necklace or jewelry in that to kind of keep that, what do they call that when the keywords are long chain?
I've put in
Long
more than 3
tail.
words on
Long tail.
MakerWords. Yeah, I put in more than 3 words sometimes on MakerWords. It's fine.
So the answer is yes to both of those. Yes, you can find long tail keywords that have 3 or more words in MakerWords, but the other answer is you can use the same word like jewelry or necklace or whatever. You're not supposed to use it more than 3 times in the title. Okay. So let's going back to this. So we did ceramic. So here's one. Selling for $60 has 52. So that works. And let's see, this is again, the ceramic one we saw before, 45. So if I wanted to sell a ceramic one, because there's only 1,722 results and I've already found 2 or 3, this would be a yes for me. Okay. Was that helpful?
Yes.
Let's do one more quick one and then we will get to the end.
How about
Somebody-
ornaments? Because it's going to be Christmas time.
Didn't we just do an ornament?
We did.
Give me something else if anybody has something completely
Uh,
different. Do you want to give me one, Kimberly?
I'm trying to think of something. I have like a flower choker that I just did. It's a big piece of mother of pearl flower choker. It's got a
Okay, so
mother.
let's just start with flower choker necklace and see what we get. Okay, so that's just over the 30,000. So that would be too competitive, right? But what did you say, flower choker?
It's
Mother of pearl.
mother of pearl.
So,
Mother of pearl pendant flower choker.
okay, mother of pearl pendant flower choker. Let's see what we get. All right, you're getting the point now. 1,327 results. That would be perfect. And again, you're going to think of it like this, that's a smaller number of competitors, but that's okay, because if somebody is looking for a mother of pearl pendant flower choker, they know exactly what they want, right? And you're going to have exactly what they want.
So in that instance, because it's longer, is it better to say mother of pearl pendant necklace, comma, flower choker, comma? Or is it better to
No.
have it one long thing?
It doesn't really matter, but I would probably, just to make it more readable, I would do mother of pearl pendant flower choker, comma, choker necklace, or whatever your other keywords are.
Okay.
Okay, but let's go through, because we didn't actually qualify this as being okay yet, because we saw that it has 1,327 results, which is perfect. But now let's see if we can find, because we know jewelry is a very competitive space.
Okay, second row down on the right hand side, with the picture of the pendant in the hand. That's it.
109. Okay, so slightly over 100, but that's okay. That one works. Thank you. This is an ad. No, this is different, but it's a big flower choker. Oh, they only have one review. Here's another one, a white flower choker, one review. I think that's the same person. 56. So yes, this would be gold for you. This would be a great way to get into the market, and you can easily rank on the first page, because we've already seen that there's multiple people that have less than or around 100. Here's another one. That's not a big choker, but there's another one. Those are earrings. So now if I was you, I'd be saying, okay, what coordinating products can I put with this? Well, how about flowery mother of pearl earrings? What else could I do? Put it on my list and do the research for that.
Now, the one that I have is it's mother pearl flower choker. It's the pendant, and then it has with moonstone beads. I don't know. Do you put that kind of detail in, or is that getting too specific?
No, so this might be my first keyword, and then so let's do moonstone bead choker. And you just start playing around. Now, again, when you go to actually use these keywords, you're going to put them in maker words or wherever you're using, and make sure that there's search volume. But you can also tell from the competitors that there would be. In the interest of time, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but that's exactly what I would do then. I would take the next keyword, and again, you can see 5,835. So you're still within the 30. And I'd start scrolling down to see, now these probably are not similar to what you're selling, which is a good indication that maybe this keyword is not the right keyword for you, unless you see something similar to what you're selling.
Well, they are like mine in that they have the moonstones, but then I have this big, huge
choker.
Okay, pendant hanging from it.
Okay, so if you find anything, what I would do is, we know the first thing matched. So then I would do the same process again, go through, see if you can find a couple people that have 100 or less reviews. And if you find anything that's sort of similar, you know that you're in the right keyword. You know what I mean? If you see nobody that's selling anything similar to you, then I wouldn't use that, because it's not targeted to your product.
Gotcha.
And we need to remember here that this is not about your favorite products. This research, this is not about the products that you like particularly. This is about products that sell. Because if you just want to sell products that you like, that's a hobby. That's not a business. So your personal preference, would you particularly buy these products? That may not be the case, but it doesn't matter. Because if you have a market that's willing to buy your product, that's what's important.
All right. Anybody have any questions related to anything we've talked about today? I know we've
Just
been
a
answering
quick
them.
one, like how to narrow down some of the digital stuff, because I know there's a couple of us on here that express interest in digital things.
By narrow down, what do you mean? Like how to narrow down the niche or the
Yeah.
product?
So, um,
It's exactly the same. I do
It
the
is.
exact same methods for all of my digital products, and I do the same thing. So let's just take this silly evil eye thing again, right? I'm gonna put an evil eye, and I'm gonna start. Here's a little tip to narrow down your alphabet search bar. If you're doing printables or digitals, you can skip like most of the letters, and I would either do evil eye P for printable, evil ID for digital, and there's one more. What's the third one? Digital, printable. What would be the other?
Digital
Sublimation?
Sublimation.
Well,
There we go.
You could do
Yeah.
sublimation too. Yeah, so that's how I would do it, and then start narrowing. I do the exact same process, Debbie, that I do for physical products.
okay, but just doing D and P.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll do all of them, but if you want to just save time, D and P is going to give you digitals and printables to get an
Would
idea.
you
of
also put
things.
in the SVG?
You could, if you know you want to sell an SVG, you could do that as well. Yes. Yeah, but I do the exact same process.
It is exactly the same, guys. I'm mainly digital. My store is 90% digital, and I use exactly the same research methods.
Okay.
Regina wants to check
I
out those
was-
scoops.
Yeah, I was putting in like scrapbook paper, like digital scrapbook paper, and I even put in like, like specific holidays, but then it just seemed like there was a lot of competition.
So
There
then
is.
yeah.
Yeah. Narrow it down. So maybe it's what did you say, holidays? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Halloween digital scrapbook paper, it still had like huge volumes.
But what if you did like and I'm just throwing this out there, you have to look at what your competitors, but what if you did boho Halloween or pastel Halloween digital or
Retro
Halloween digital paper for kids?
Mhm.
You know what I'm
So,
saying?
or flowery Halloween, or skeleton Halloween, or there's lots of different ways. You're taking it up down another layer.
Okay.
Yeah, like an onion.
And I
It
think
has
that's
layers.
where a lot of us probably struggle, is just trying to peel that onion or get to
Mhm.
those layers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you can take inspiration if you put in a generic keyword. So say, for example, you put in funny, sarcastic digital design, and it might come up with loads of different things. And then you might see, oh, it says groovy on that one. Let me have a look at groovy, funny, sarcastic digital design.
Or
And take
retro
inspiration
or yeah,
retro. Yeah. And
vintage.
just see what's coming up, and maybe kind of just fall down the rabbit hole.
And
Because
I fall down that rabbit hole when I'm doing the research.
Mhm.
That's exactly what I do. And you saw, like, I'm looking, oh, well, I maybe could do that Tumblr, and I'm adding that to my list, and I'll come back to it later. And I'm looking at all these different products to get ideas as I'm going. Debbie, just one thing to point out, because Debbie is in our coaching group, you can actually do a hot seat on that, and we'll help you go through all that as well.
Okay.
I don't know if you're signed up anytime soon, but
I thought we had a space still for the end of this month.
we
I
do.
did.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, Jenny, you want to talk us out of it at the end here?
Okay. So thank you ever so much, guys, for coming into our session today, because we really wanted to share with you some great ideas, hints, and tips to get you successful for the holidays. Now, some of you guys that are on here are already part of our Etsy group mastermind, and it's wonderful to see you guys. And we hope that you've got an awful lot from this. What we do want to do is encourage anybody that's not in our group mastermind to come and join us, even if it's just for 1 month, because what we're finding is that you can start an Etsy business, you can start getting a few sales, but if you want to get proper sales, if you want to start getting real results, then generally you need to have a teacher. You need somebody to show you and teach you what you can do to scale up from what you're already doing to where's actually going to work for you. So we're offering the first month on Etsy Success and Beyond, which is our group coaching program, for just $1. Okay. After that, it's $49 a month. There's no minimum commitment. But what we want to do is offer that. It's a 24-hour or slightly over 24-hour opportunity. After that, it just goes to the standard $49 a month. And it's really important. If you look at anybody that's successful, whether it be a sports person, whether it be a business person, whether it be anybody in this life that is successful, they always get teaching and support and guidance and mentors and coaches. And that's what we're offering. And we have come from a high value group mastermind coaching program operated by Learn. And we have set up, because that has finished, we have set up our own coaching group where you are getting more and more value every month. You're getting everything
Much cheaper.
offer, and much cheaper. And we're offering that to absolutely everybody that is willing to come in and learn and be a part of our community, because we not only have the group mastermind, we have hot seats every month. We have a Facebook group. We have a community of people that are just like you, wanting to be successful. And we're all learning all of the time. There's still things that we pull up that we think, oh, actually, that's a really good idea. And we meet every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, there's recordings available within a day or two that we post in the group. If you're part of the group, you get access to all of the recordings. There's weekly lessons, SEO, marketing, trends, research, tools, listing optimization, conversion tips, and so much more, including Q&A sessions. It's live, it's done with us just like this, so that everybody can see each other. Debbie's put in the chat, I love the coaching group. I'm one that needs to hear things more than once, and the visual walkthroughs, absolutely. But
Jenny, let me just point one thing out real quick. Sorry to interrupt you. So I forget who it was. Was it Lisa, I think, was doing the dog bowls? So if you took
that was just a suggestion, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to use that as an example. If you took those dog bowls that sold, I don't know, between $40 and $60 a piece, right? And your average profit margin is about 35% is what it should be, between 30 and 40%. You only have to sell 2 or 3 bowls of one product to make back your money after the first month for the coaching group. And I guarantee you, I can't guarantee you because you have to do the work, but I promise if you put the work in, you will see that in droves. And the thing is, now is the time for the holidays. So for those of you like Katrina, I know you said your store have you turned it completely off, or was it on vacation mode?
It was on vacation mode, so I just made it active, but I hadn't put any products or anything back on. I literally did that last night.
Okay. Well, this is the time to do it. And this is the time to, between where are we, September 20th, between now and like the next 4 weeks, really, to start building up your shop again and do whatever you can to get those sales so that you're ready for the big rush in the holidays, and that you've got the algorithm moving so that Etsy is sending you targeted customers.
Yeah. And the timing.
Sorry, Jenny, go ahead.
That's okay. The timing of this is great for those of you that really want to make the most of the holidays, because this is the ideal time. As Jody said, she's in research mode, new product mode. Get those listings up, get those listings on, and fine tune those listings so that you can actually get the most bang for your buck. So we want to make sure we've tried to make it as affordable as possible, because we want as many people to be successful as possible. The market is huge. The number of Etsy sellers rate in the millions. And a lot of those Etsy sellers are novice Etsy sellers that are just kind of winging it a little bit, like I did when I first started, and they're not getting any extra support or help. And you know, this is where you get to find out, oh my God, right, this supplier has turned off their their tote bags. This supplier has turned off their two-tone mugs. Where do we go instead? Right, okay, we're using this company, right? Let's use this company instead. You could, I mean, we had last December, Icon Ecom stopped providing, didn't they? They stopped literally overnight. And all of a sudden, everybody's orders were getting delayed. But there was no explanation. Nobody knew what was going on. But it was only the people in the mastermind group that actually had that inside information, because we had a direct line to the directors of Icon Ecom, so that we could find out what was happening for them. And
Yep.
having that kind of insider info is absolutely gold. We have access to people that can help you with, we've got Anywhere POD, you know, Chris meets Anywhere POD. Debbie's put on their custom cat. You know, we've got a coaching group list of all of
I
the
just
preferred
put that in there to
suppliers.
answer.
Yeah, all the best suppliers and the backups. And we're
I
going to
just,
know.
hang on one second, Jenny. I just completed a whole list for the group with all of the top providers for each product that people sell, and then backups. So because inevitably during the holidays, things go wrong and people run out of stock or whatever. But just so you know, I don't know, I can't see if Kimberly's still on the call.
Yes,
Kimberly and one or two other people don't sell print on demand products at all. They sell jewelry and other things. I sell both digital and physical. So we have a very good mix of people. And each week I do a lesson, and it's always aimed at what works for everybody. So real quick, Jenny, let's just tell, because we're running out of time here. Each week, I lost you guys for like a brief second, so I don't know if you said this or not, that we start our sessions, they're an hour and a half long. Jenny does a short mindset session to get overcome any obstacles you may be having to success. And then I do a different lesson each week on whatever you guys want. So for instance, we have our coaching group today at 3 o'clock, and we're going to, I think this might have been Donna who suggested this. We're going to be talking about, I have a whole lesson on how to fix listings that are just not converting, and whether you're going to totally redo them, whether you're going to just make some changes, whether it's better to renew the listing or redo the whole listing and start from scratch. So each week we do different things on whatever topics you guys want, plus the hot seat, as I heard Jenny say, at the end of the month. Did we miss anything else? We've kept them for a very long time.
I think that it's very student-led. Our coaching group is very student-led in terms of, if somebody says they need a particular lesson, then we'll make sure it comes up ASAP. And all the lessons generally are new every single week. You know, we have great feedback from our students. They love the lessons. They enjoy the lessons. It's very interactive. We're human beings, just like anybody else. You know, sometimes the screen share doesn't work and everybody's having a giggle because Jody and I are just kind of like,
And I've usually had too much coffee by that time. So
yeah, she gets a bit jittery.
I'm speaking even faster than normal.
Yep. Yep. But you know, it's important to know that you have that camaraderie, you have the other people that you can interact with. You become the sum of the 5 people that you interact with most. And if you want to be successful on Etsy, then you need to be interacting with other people that are selling on Etsy so that you can be successful. And this is where you're going to find them. So this is really, you know, sort of an opportunity for you to try it out for a month, see how you go. If you love it, stay. If you hate it, you've lost $1 and maybe an hour or 2 of time. It's as simple as
Well,
that.
let's be honest, Jenny, our calls go an hour and a half, but they generally, with questions and just the conversation, Debbie's nodding her head.
I was gonna say sometimes 2.
Yeah, sometimes 2.
Most of the 2 hours.
Yeah.
We don't cut it off, but every call is recorded and it's held live in the Facebook group so that you can go back, and as well as every lesson I do and every lesson Jenny does and whatever special guests we have. We just had someone on, some of you might know Dan Manchesky. We had him doing a whole AI lesson on about how you do your listings with AI and how art with AI. So I myself have not had a chance to go back and watch that yet because I was in Greece when he did it. But so we kind of take from what everybody else wants and find people for that. I don't need to go through all of this with you guys. I just wanted to thank you. And I'm glad you guys came on. You can, Jenny put in there, if you are interested, the link is in the chat for you, and it's youretsyedge.com is just the website. Again, we did this, it would be great if you joined, but we also wanted to give you guys the information. We did record this, we are going to use it for some other advertising, just so you guys know. But hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully you got every question you had answered. We can take one more minute if anybody has any other burning questions. Doesn't have to be about what we talked about, of just anything related to Etsy.
Just put the link in the chat again, just in case anybody wants to just copy and paste it or just click on it to have to look at afterwards. But we'd love to have you guys join us because we know how much value you're going to get. And some of the students have already been commenting in the chat about how valuable they find it. So
any questions?
Really, yeah.
Last minute questions? No, I can't see the chat. So do we have anything from Regina or Tony?
Say, I find it more helpful than what we were doing before.
So you're talking about the Marketplace Mastery from Dave? Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I do. I find it more, I think it's a lot more tailored to what we're all trying to do. So yeah,
a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Yes.
And honestly, it helps us. I tell you guys all the time, I learn something new every single week. There's always, because that's part of what the community is about, is people are finding new things. Rahul had come up, he's not on this call, but he'd come up with some things last week that were amazing information for us that we didn't know about. It was
Gift
for print on
tags.
demand.
Yeah.
So anyway, anybody have anything else before we sign off? We do have our coaching group at 3 o'clock today for those of you that are in the group. If anyone decides to join the group, if you did it before 3 o'clock, we'll make sure you get the link to get on the call. Anything else?
Just one quick thing, because I know Katrina, I think it was Katrina that was asking about somebody else besides Icon. If you look at Printify, they have a lot of trainings, and they will walk you through a lot of stuff, but they do a lot of trainings. And then there's also a Facebook group for Printify. It's the Printify Rockstar group.
But also, Katrina, we can, if you've got products with Icon Ecom, we can also tell you how you can get them moved over to Printify without having to redo all of your listings.
Yeah, there's over 400 when I shut it down.
Yeah, so I think that's worth $1. Don't you?
And by the way, just to close this out, because I saw it was a question in the chat. The recordings, Jenny will take care of the recording and we will be sending it out via email. It will come out within, I don't know, what do you think, by tomorrow, Jenny?
Yes. Yeah.
Along with the free ebooks. So you don't have to worry about that. If for some reason you don't get it, just let us know. And we'll take care of it for you. And the other thing before we head out is I wanted to say, whether you join the group or not, once you go back through the recording, if you have questions on how to do something that I talked about today and you're not sure, just reach out to me.
Yeah,
I'm happy to help you. Okay.
If you're in the Printable Profits group, then Jody and I are both members there.
Yeah, and if not, you can I can give you my email. There you go.
Did you put that in the chat?
Yep. So if anyone needs, I actually sent it just to Regina. Sorry about that.
I was thinking I can't see it. Take a moment.
There you go.
There
now everybody should be able to see it. And Jeff, you already texted me, so you don't need to be writing down the emails.
You already know the email address.
All right, everyone.
Thank you so much, guys. Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
It was great to see the people I know and to put some names to faces. And again, hope to see you soon. Take care, guys. If you're in the
Can
group.
I ask one more quick question?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
I'm sorry. So when we're doing the search, on the Etsy search bar or whatever, would you put in specifically like nursing ornament, or would you start with like ornament and then go ornament A, or would you do nursing ornament A?
It depends if you know you want to do a nurse's. So if you want to do a nurse's ornament and you know that already, I would skip that alphabet search and I would just go to the competition method and see if there's if there's validity there. I don't think you need to put it in the search bar alphabet if you already know exactly what you want to do. But if
Okay.
you just want to do nurse stuff, then I would do that. I would do nurse A, B, C, whatever.
Okay.
Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes.
You can skip that step. All right. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone. I'm glad I only lost Zoom one time. So that was a bonus because I was expecting it to go out more than once. So we'll see you guys in the group today if you're in it. If not, take care and don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, guys.